Hey everybody, Steven here. So now that we finished our house, I think that there was still a few stuff that I need to tweak. But what I'd like to do now is to kind of start a new series and work more on the documentation side. So previously we'd done all the modeling, but now I need to prepare a documentation set that I can use for my portfolio. And to be honest, I haven't really done any proper documentation set since uh, ooh, even before I went back to uni. So I'll try to relearn everything as I go. Mm, so first thing that I like to do is to kind of go into here in the layout book and kind of write down all the plans that I think that I will need for this. So here we already had plans, elevations. Where's this one? Oh, I think that was from the existing template. So I'm just going to delete that for now. And I'm going to move the elevation that we made in the previous video and bring that here. So we got floor plans, sections, elevations, and some detail there. So floor plans, let's see what we have. And I think I'll need to create a title block here as well. So what kind of plans do we need? So we will need some existing site plan, because normally you'd have a land where you designed that house for, and you'll get like a survey with some topographic line, and I think I create one layer that I can use for this. And then we need a proposed site plan, so it's just existing with my new design on top of it. Bring that here. So floor plans, say proposed floor plans. And I think I'd like to have a floor plan maybe that just show the interior, and one that show all the dimensions, just so it's easier to read. So maybe I'm gonna create one floor plan dimensions. I can see that right now I don't really care about the type of master I set up here. I think I can do that later. Floor plans, I think we'll need foundation plan. So where we're gonna start designing the slabs and maybe some of the retaining walls. Maybe like a plumbing, drainage plan. Electrical plan. Maybe a bracing plan as well. Okay. I mean, that's all I can think for now. But I'm sure there's more. Sections. I think I only have one right now, but I think it'd be good if we have a few more. So sections. Show layer. So I have one here, a second one there, and I mean this is just a documentation set that I'm going to use from portfolio, so I don't really need to be doing detail everything, but I guess 2 section will be good. So right now it's this one that's placed. I need to create this one, So I'm just gonna go here, a bit bigger, and where is it? So I think it's this one, and I'm just gonna call it maybe BB cross, and we're gonna move it to the view map, and let's just use the section layer combination for this one, and 1 to 150. Or maybe 1 to 100 because it's the same as the other one. Okay, now I'm gonna put the view map on this side and the layout book here. Make sure that I click on this one and this one on the section folder, place drawing. It will create a new layout, and let's go in there, just like that. I need to change that to A3. And to avoid doing that all the time, I think it's good to just set this one as the default. So every time I create a new one, it will use a A3 landscape. And I'm just going to place that in the middle. Actually, I think on this one, yeah. So this one was set up as 100, but then here I've kind of resized it. So maybe it's better to just change this one directly to 1 to 150. Press OK. Normally this one's going to update. Let's see. Oh no, well, that's all good. And this one's going to update. Okay. And right now it's selecting black. I think it's because if you go into the settings, it's on printing, so I can just change to this one, and you will have some of the colors that are showing there. Actually, the mesh is not showing on this one. I think it's because it wasn't updated in the section layer combination. So I think it's mesh existing, update, okay. So that's showing. Those one, I think I'm gonna move that up. So sections, let's see, 15,000. Too high. Just gonna drop it down to 2,000, 12,000, which is okay. So now if I go back here, oh, I think I forgot to save sections. Oh, because they're set on custom. And now it's gonna update. Okay, so now I got two sections, and maybe we can rename this one section AA long, section BB cross, elevations. I think on the elevations I'd like to I like to see all in one, but I think I need to have some space for like some tables and some extra informations, and because I also need to make them a bit larger to show how they comply with the zoning regulations. So maybe for that, we're just gonna leave this here. What else can I start to do? So for the details, I think there's a list of details that I need to add, like a corner, the roofs and stuff like that. Yeah, we're gonna work that out later. Just gonna prepare now the views. The ground floor. Maybe I'm gonna have one that's just like the presentation type, so without the dimensions. Something. Sorry guys, I mean this is not really a tutorial. I'm just kind of relearning how to do the documentation, and it's just to help me later on when I prepare a proper tutorial with like a proper sequencings on how to do stuff. But this one is just to kind of share with you guys how I work in real time. So plan floor, sites, plan presentations. Let's see what this one shows. Okay. So I'm just going to copy those two. I'm selecting those and pressing Control, and I'm just going to shift them down. Try to keep it under this. You can see that little plus, so to make some copies. Ground floor presentation. And I'm going to make sure that those two are set to presentation furniture. And then on this one, plan floor, maybe I do. I'm gonna create a layer doc, and just for the dimensions, select all the dimensions here. I'm just clicking on the dimension tool here and pressing Ctrl A. I will automatically select all dimensions. I'm gonna hide, not hide them, but set up here. And if I click on this and plan for, and make sure that this is off. So those were the dimension that's on the upper floor. I didn't change the layer yet. Now they're gone. Actually, well, the floor presentation are all the same. So I think this one needs to have the documentation floor on. So like they're the same, and here what I want as the finishes as well. Let's see, ground floor dimensions, first floor dimensions. So here I'm gonna create a new one, ground floor dimensions. So I want to turn off the furniture. I want to turn on the dimensions, and yes, press OK. Yeah. Okay, so this is the one that we want. And to update. Turn on furniture, finishes, floor, and where's dimension? Make sure you update. and set those to plant floor dimensions. So now if we come here, put on the view, select those two, we can drag it up here, and sometimes it creates another layout. I'm just going to delete, and you get this. Oh, did I set that as default? Oh, thing is when you create a new one. Okay, I'm gonna select those two, fit to frame. Make sure it's on A3. And I'm gonna change the scale to 1 to 100. And now I want them to be like the same positions as the proposed floor plan. So I'm gonna use that layer as a reference. And I can just take, let's say, that corner there and drag it into position. So that when you publish everything in PDF, when they scroll down, when you look at it on computer, they'll be at the same position. It just look more clean. Okay, I'm gonna turn off. And I think on the dimension one, I could maybe put the dimensions of the door and the windows. So to do that, I have to show the markers. And it's only showing on dimensions marker. This one. Maybe I don't need to show the dimensions, but I need to show the ID, like the numbers. Select all the windows, marker settings, and oh, it's not showing. Oh, okay. I think it didn't show as because some of them already had the marker on. So I'm just going to select all the doors and select the one that has the marker. Now go into Control T, basic door markers, press OK. So now it shows, and I'm going to do the same thing for the windows. Dimension marker. Okay. Now I get. Ooh, what's wrong here? There's a doubles. So maybe I don't need all those informations. So what I'm gonna go back into the settings. I don't need the extension line, and just show the ID. I don't need this. And marker position, let's say 5. Now I should move in too close. Marker position, text format. Text. ID. Compact element ID. Oops, didn't change anything. Position. Bit marker shape to font size. Okay. And I'm just going to reduce that. 2.5. 5. And dimension markers. Okay. Keep forgetting that I need to change that. And now you can see that the numbering is a bit wrong because I've copy and paste some of the windows. So how to do that? Let's just select all of them. Document, listing extra, element ID, and ID formats. Windows, so W, counter start from 0, 1, and change ID. So it starts from here, 1, 2. And 2, where's number 3? Okay, sometimes, because right now it was kind of random, what you want to do is select in a certain order and redo what we just did. And change ID. Normally it didn't. Okay, oh, to be able to do that. Maybe there's something that I need to click. Set some ID criteria, ID formats. Okay, well, I'll need to check that and how it's done again. Kind of forget. I'm just gonna select the doors and do the same thing. That was 10. No extension line. Circle fit to shape. You press OK. Show dimensions off. Why is this one different? Looks a bit bigger. Same for this one. I need to rechange the ID. All the doors. gonna change to D for door. It's okay. And yep. So now I get doors IDs and Windows IDs. If you wanted to, you could just drag them into position. All right. Okay. Make sure you change that to markers so that it will appear, because if I go to presentation, they're not showing. And yep, I have to do the same thing upstairs. So I'm just gonna check the ground floor first. We had how many doors? Up to 6, so the following one will start at 7. Click all the doors. Dimension 2. Marker size 10. No extension line. And ID only. Document. And I'm gonna start at 7. Actually, those ones. Wardrobe, just bring that down. Maybe I'm gonna put on this side. Okay. Windows. At the bottom we had until what? Those we had 8 windows here. So the next one should start at 9. Dimension. Those fit 10. An extension line. 2. Show dimension. Show seal. Okay. And W. And we start at 9. Change ID. So now we get the idea of our windows as well. And if we go into our floor plan dimensions, you will see the floor plans has been updated. And for the dimensions, or for the IDs, I also like to be seen on the elevations. Let's see if it works. I'm going to one of them, source, and I think if I remember correctly, ID markers. So select all the windows. No, that's not what's supposed to, there was a way to show. Oh, yeah. So just like that. You just put it on label, you click on the windows, and then it will automatically know that you want to add the ID there. And maybe I'm just gonna change that to 2, make it black, remove the background color, and even smaller. Just close the garage door. I'm thinking if I should keep it dark. Elevations. As you can see now, here. And elevation settings. And I want to show maybe on that side. That's okay. And I think I like to have one here as well. But because I don't know how if I can split them, maybe I'm just gonna create 2 lines. And this is dropping 900. And another one here. What we can do is gonna try to get the same size so it's kind of consistent. Yeah. Oops. Oh, come on. Computer's slowing down. And so it's plus something. I think to get something similar, I have to use this one. And let's see. Yep. So it kind of gives you the value. So it's taking from this level. And I don't need that icons. So I don't know if I can remove that. I just want to remove the markers. If I do 0. Ah. Oh, maybe I'll do something like this then. Excuse me. I need to bring it on that side. I need to know why the marker is not. Oh. Yep, so I don't do those. And maybe this one doesn't need to be a big. Okay, this is supposed to be ground level that I've cut, so is change the cut surface earth soil, I mean, and change the color so that it match the other one. Oh, this one is to match this. Light paint. Alright, none. And this one's gonna be the same as this. Just have to change to soil. Press OK. And voila. Maybe this one I can just lift it up. This one's timber wall. I'm just gonna concrete structural or concrete blocks. Just look like that. And maybe I'll bring back the grids. So it's top foundations. Update. And I'll add some dimension here. Make sure you go back to the linear one. Okay, and detail document. Symbols, give me that roof pitch. This one is 20. Press OK. Back. Let's check if it's 20. So this one's 20, 20. Bring that here. Roof pitch. Here. And symbol C2. Maybe it doesn't need to be that long. C. didn't really change that much. Just gonna remove the transparent. Parameters. Oh, you can't even remove that. So, well, so just make sure that it doesn't cover the first line. And that again. Like the claddings. Maybe we can add some labels. Text. Vertical. Cladding. I don't know which one I'm gonna use yet. Oops. Press escape. And I'm just gonna drag it. I'm just gonna mirror that so it goes on the other side. So it's just to change the position in that direction. I'm gonna copy that, control like alt and mouse over, and click on here. That this needs to be here. Horizontal with a bold. Yeah, I think I like to keep that line like at 45°. What else can we add? This is same. Maybe the roof. Corrugated roofing. Roof cladding. And if you would, you could change pointer to an arrow. I'm gonna add the dimension here. And I can resize the text to, let's say, 2. Tanning wall. We can add another dimensions here. Yeah. marker size 2. And I can add custom, so finish ground level, FGL, and I'm gonna remove opacity. I mean, I'll keep it. Okay, let's see what it looks like in here. See how much space it takes. So what we could do, maybe I'm just gonna move that a little bit here, and I want to know by how much I need to move that. So I'm just gonna go into here, open source view with layout as reference, so you actually see where the boundary of your frame is. So you could just put that label there. But I mean, one downside of doing this is that it kind of really slow your computer down. So you can see here, nothing's moving. I'm gonna turn that off. Good. And maybe I'm just gonna stretch that smaller. Something here. And elevation settings. Where's the elevation marker? Make that a bit smaller. Okay. So I'll do the same on the other ones. So one quick way of doing that will be to just go back in here, select all the labels, click on A, select all the text. There's no other text. Maybe not all because it's selecting the windows as well. So I'm just going to take those ones. Yeah, and that's it. Going to the east one, off, bring that in, and just put it somewhere else. This one's gonna be here. I think that the roof is 10 degrees, and let's see, yep, 12. Add the dimensions. is that not a... there's something wrong here. What's the dimensions? And oh yeah. Now it should be okay. Vertical cladding. Just gonna here. Horizontal with the board. And I'm gonna here. I don't need the in between. Okay. And this one I can just bring it a little bit like that. Oh. I don't know if I can not show this one. But then I would need on the other side, so just back. Straight. Straight as well. Make sure that you pick this one here. And I need to show the levels. Better to show it on this side here. Which means that I need to, yeah. ID. Yep, this allows you to kind of center the label at the center of the window. Okay. stretch it back up. I think I'll need to redo them because, or put them on the bigger master, because there'll be not enough space for my title block here on this side. And I like this one's higher. 13 and minus 1000. 13 minus 2000. So I'm just gonna bring it up. So that everything lines up. And I think I need to put the level on here. And to do that, I'm just gonna hide that so I know exactly where the level is. Dimensions. Okay. And yep. One's gonna be left up. And I'm gonna change the marker. This one. Go back here. Updating. Yep. Oh, nearly 1 hour. I think I'm gonna stop now and try to be a bit more organized on the next video. But yeah, I mean, doing building consent or documentation takes quite a long time. It's way easier if you have a proper template and know all the things that you need to add on your drawings. And obviously, that's something I haven't done yet. This sessions, I'll have a proper template that I can share with you guys. However, of course, if you have any questions, just